Chapter 2. The cloud of dust got closer as Sophia and Justin waited at the top of the long, winding driveway leading to the country road, cutting a line through the wheat fields. The blue truck finally arrived and slowed, pulling up next to them as they waved excitedly. Dad motioned for them to hop in the truck bed, as he always did, and Sophia quickly ran around to the back, slapping Justin's hand away as he reached down to help her scramble up onto the bumper. He might be taller, but she could do this herself. Once safely seated in the back, the truck began to roll forward up the drive. Justin lifted himself onto his knees and plastered his face and hands to the back window, adding to the row of dirty fingerprints from earlier in the week. Dad looked up and grinned at them in the rearview mirror. Though the ride wasn't long back to the house, Sophia laid back and stared at the pink clouds above her. She relished the arrival of this tradition each spring, when the sun finally stayed in the sky long enough for there to be light at 6 o'clock in the evening. All summer long, though Dad didn't always come home at the same time, she'd watch eagerly for that cloud of dust. And when the sky got dark and the weather cold in the fall, she'd wait at the window, cozy and warm in the house. It just wasn't the same. The truck pulled to a stop in front of the porch, and Sophia hopped up, jumping over the tailgate as Dad lifted Justin out of the truck bed and set him on the ground. Justin wrapped his arms around one leg, and Sophia darted forward, claiming the other. "Wow, quite the welcome tonight," Dad chuckled. "I missed you two." "Did you help any animals today?" Sophia asked, looking up at him with bright eyes. People always said she looked just like her dad, though his hair was slightly darker than hers, and she believed that meant something. She loved hearing about the different animals that came into the clinic, and maybe someday she could be the one helping them, like father, like daughter. Dad grinned. "I did help a lot of animals. In fact, if you two can let go of me a moment, I have something I want to show you." Sophia and Justin dropped their arms and stepped back, watching Dad open the truck door and reach inside. "What is it?" Sophia asked, just as Dad pulled a small box from the back seat. She rushed forward to look inside. "Hold on a second," Dad said, lifting the box above their heads and opening the flap. "You need to be very quiet and very calm. Can you do that?" Sophia and Justin nodded thoughtfully. "Okay, then." Dad lowered the box, allowing the children to peek inside. Sophia's brow furrowed, taking in the small, gray and white lump. "What is it?" she whispered. "Is it a mouse?" Justin asked quietly. "Not a mouse, but that's a good guess. This is a young kitten. It was dropped off on the clinic steps this morning." "All alone?" Sophia gasped, looking up in horror. "But where's its mom?" She thought about what it would be like to be all alone without her own mother, and shivered. Dad shrugged. "Maybe someone found it and didn't know how to help it. Sometimes things happen to mother cats." He took a deep breath and lowered himself to their level. "Do you think you two could take care of her? See if we can get her to survive the night?" Sophia and Justin nodded excitedly. "You have to understand, tiny kittens like this don't always make it." "I know, Dad," Sophia said bravely. "But you'll tell us what to do, and we can try our best." Justin smiled in agreement. "All right then, let's take it inside."